Hello, welcome to another episode of That's English.
Oh, hello. I'm reading this book by Stephen Hawking about his early life. I'm full of admiration for him. In fact, he's one of my heroes. Who are your heroes or heroines, Samantha?
Well, I really worship Angelina Jolie, not for her acting, but for her humanitarian work.
In today's episode, Danny and Omar are discussing Danny's hero, business guru Graham Snow.
While you watch, try to answer this question. Who is Jane and what are her feelings about Graham Snow?
Hey, the light works.
Yeah, I fixed it.
That's clever.
Yeah, I'm pleased with the result.
That looks nice.
Would you like some?
Oh, no thanks. I'm having lunch at a conference. This guy is giving a talk. I couldn't go last time, and I was really disappointed at not seeing him.
Who is that?
Only the Graham Snow, one of the biggest icons of the business world. He's my hero. He's presenting his latest book, How to Make It in Business.
What makes him such an expert?
Oh, his achievements are endless.
You mean he's made a lot of money, huh?
He does a lot for charity too. He's said to have set up a children's foundation.
I'm always suspicious of these sorts of people.
Well, I'm full of admiration for him. He's a self-made man who was a complete unknown 20 years ago, and now he's a millionaire. How brilliant is that?
Okay, so he's rich. It doesn't mean you have to put him on a pedestal.
He's rumoured to have a personal fortune of $500 million.
Graham Snow rose to success after the phenomenal sales of his first book. Such was the popularity of his ideas that they have had a worldwide impact on the business world. Various committees, charitable deeds. But wait, have you read this? But Snow also has his critics. The Financial Times called him a snake charmer, whose followers worship him blindly. Graham may not be as pure as Snow.
That's just envy. People don't like winners. I'm getting his book anyway.
Investment scheme fraud. Fallen idol. Good morning. Is that Jane Mullin? This is Karen Jones. I'm a journalist for the local newspaper. I'm researching an article about Graham Snow. I understand you were his secretary. I'm trying to find out about some of his investment schemes. Could we meet? Okay. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, my office? Great. I'll give you the address.
I haven't seen Graham Snow for 10 years. I thought he'd sunk into oblivion. Then I saw him on TV last week talking about his new book.
Yes, he's a business guru now, and he's known to be the champion of altruism.
Altruism? Graham Snow?
What was he like when you first worked for him?
Well, he was quite modest and yet charming. He was a rough diamond. You could see that he had a lot of potential. I was thrilled to be working for him at the beginning.
So what happened?
A lot of people lost a lot of money because of Graham Snow. I felt so disillusioned I had to leave. The person you really need to talk to is one of the victims of the fraud.
Well, it looks like Danny's hero could be a fallen idol.
Were you able to answer the question? Who is Jane and what are her feelings about Graham Snow?
I'm researching an article about Graham Snow. I understand you were his secretary.
A lot of people lost a lot of money because of Graham Snow. I felt so disillusioned.
Jane used to be his secretary, and now she feels disillusioned by his actions.
During the video, Graham Snow was described in different ways. Some of them were positive.
one of the biggest icons of the business world.
And some were negative.
The Financial Times called him a snake charmer, whose followers worship him blindly.
A snake charmer describes someone who seduces or manipulates people for their own benefit.
In the film, people speculated about Graham Snow using the passive form, be said to and be known to.
He's said to have set up a children's foundation.
And he's known to be the champion of altruism.
Angelina Jolie is said to give away a third of her earnings.
And Stephen Hawking is known to have motor neuron disease.
We also heard different expressions related to fame and success.
Graham Snow rose to success after the phenomenal sales of his first book.
He's a self-made man who was a complete unknown 20 years ago.
I haven't seen Graham Snow for 10 years. I thought he'd sunk into oblivion.
When we describe someone as self-made, it means that they have become successful by their own efforts.
We also heard the expression sink into oblivion. It refers to someone who was once famous and who the public have forgotten.
Now, let's find out how Graham Snow really made his money.
Karen goes to meet Sheila, who also knew Graham.
Try to answer this question as you watch. What happened to Sheila and her husband, and how did they feel?
Here you are, dear. I suppose you want to know about that savings schemes business.
Yes. What happened?
It's a long time ago now. My husband and I invested in a savings scheme. The man who sold us the scheme was so persuasive. He totally won us over. He had such an air of authority.
Was it a lot of money?
Yes, so sure were we that we put in all our savings. First year the scheme did very well. We were delighted. But then,
Things started to go wrong.
following year, we didn't hear a word from him. My husband tried to contact him, but he just disappeared into thin air.
And you never got your money back?
No, we were devastated. My husband got very depressed. We'd lost all our savings.
I'm so sorry. And you never saw the man again?
Not until last week. Here he is, the Graham Snow. He was interviewed on TV, showing off about his latest book, Horrible Man. Sitting there in his expensive suit, so arrogant, and what was really terrible was he was going on about making donations to charity. And it was our money.
Hi, Danny. Are you still reading that?
Nearly finished. He's a genius. And what's amazing is when you meet him, he's such a humble guy.
No, what's amazing is that he's fooled people like you.
What do you mean?
I've been trying to pluck up the courage to tell you this.
What?
Take a look at this.
I don't believe it. Newspapers are always trying to discredit successful people. Who wrote this? I should have guessed. It's the Karen Jones.
I've double-checked all my sources, honestly. I know you must be very disappointed about this.
I just don't believe it. It can't be true.
I'm afraid it is. His business schemes have ruined a lot of people's lives.
Well, I'm shattered. He was my hero. Right, I'm going to do something about this.
But what can you do?
I'm going online to write a blog about the book. I'm going to give it a bad review. Can I put a link to the article with it? Mm-hmm. I look happy here, but that was before I discovered that Graham Snow has failed to live up to his reputation and
his reputation will now be his downfall. Yeah. Or, should we say, his snowfall.
Very good.
Poor Danny. His hero turned out to be a real villain.
Did you answer the question? What happened to Sheila and her husband? And how did they feel?
My husband and I invested in a savings scheme. The man who sold us the scheme was so persuasive. The following year, we didn't hear a word from him. We were devastated. My husband got very depressed. We'd lost all our savings.
Sheila and her husband lost all their savings.
They felt devastated, and Sheila's husband got depressed.
We can use what is or what was, followed by an adjective, to emphasise things we think are important.
What was really terrible was he was going on about making donations to charity.
What's amazing is when you meet him, he's such a humble guy.
No, what's amazing is that he's fooled people like you.
Notice that after the adjective, the verb is repeated. For example, what's interesting is, or what was upsetting was.
When we want to emphasise the importance of a person in a story, we put the in front of the name. And notice how it is pronounced the. Listen.
Yes, the Graham Snow.
I should have guessed. It's the Karen Jones.
We can use the to express objects as well as people. For example, last night I saw the funniest film, Hot Pursuit. You must see it.
What's amazing about you is you have the worst taste in films.
Oh, well, now let's hear from the people in the street. We asked them, who would you say are some of your heroes or heroines?
And why do you admire them?
I'm inspired by music and creativity. I've always liked Jim Henson, who created the Muppets, and I think he combined imagination and music for a wide range of audiences.
Our parents, both of us. We both came from really great families. We're from big ethnic families, and we've been really blessed in that way. Those would be our heroes.
Just Beyonce. I don't know, when I look at her as a woman, she just is empowering to women, you know, to do more, to be independent, to be bold, brave, embrace life, feminine.
I really admire explorers and pioneers, people who are the first to do things. I think that's really impressive. I always admired Neil Armstrong for that reason, you know, first man on the moon.
I like J.K. Rowling, the author that made the Harry Potter books, because she came from like nothing, and now she's like really famous and wrote really great books.
My father, because he is, I should say he was the total package, you know, educator, smart, kind, caring, righteous. Yeah, he passed away 3 years ago, and I idolize him. I'm striving to be just like him, because he was a wonderful human being, role model, yes.
Hillary Clinton, of course. She's all the rage right now. She's the new black, so.
Tieno said his father had the whole package. In other words, he had every good quality.
Hillary Clinton was described as all the rage, which means she's in fashion.
Well, that's all for now.
We look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.